But we'll be seeing a lot of Overworld clips. So let's see how they start this out. Both runners are starting in Link's house. If I know anything about Furaime, we'll see him go to the Sahasrah's hut. And we see a bottle right away on the Hylia Island. Our runners will be able to get that. And prdwong is setting up. He likes checking the hobo under the bridge right away. So we'll see what's there. And we get map checks from both runners. We see a red pendant at Eastern and a green pendant at Desert Palace. And Furaime already has the silver arrows from Sahasrah's closet. And Furaime is starting at Link's house again. He may go get that bottle. We'll see. And it looks like prdwong is interested in it as well. They have to set themselves up here for an Overworld clip. So they are creating, they're modifying Link's position so that Link, or their sprite, buffers into a wall a certain number of pixels, in this case 9 pixels, and then they do this teleport at this specific pixel. Furaime was able to do it. He got the bottle off of the island. prdwong was a bit misaligned. And because of the teleport, Furaime got into a position on the screen transition that caused Link to walk on his own over the water. It's kind of a funny auto walk, so we call it the funny auto walk thing. So next up is Lost Woods for Furaime, or at least up to the Lumberjack. We'll see where he goes from there. Hoarders have bombs for us. Nice early thing to have. And look at that, we have the flippers on Lumberjack Ledge. So an Ganon fight will be required to get those flippers. And in all likelihood, Swamp Palace is a crystal, and we will need to complete it. Or there may be a required item in Swamp Palace, and we will need those flippers. We have a free bow sitting in the Lost Woods, and Furaime picks that up first. I'm a bit surprised prdwong did not pick up the bottle, given the first error. We often see clips like this. You know, it might not be a first try. It happens all the time, and there may be a second try involved. But there are a lot of bottles in this game, so prdwong may just find a different one. We'll see. Furaime, however, will for sure check the sick kid while he's in Kakariko. And we may not see prdwong go to Kakariko anyway, but right now Furaime is there, and we will see a lot of items right away, and we'll see sick kid. All right, so Blind's Hut has another bottle that I mentioned exists of 4 bottles, of course. And the cape is there as well. And look at that! I believe the ice rod, unless I'm mistaken, is at the bottle vendor. And we'll see what else is here. Furaime is able to check Sick Kid. A red boomerang is here. That's good. Alright, so both runners making their way through Kakariko. Furaime going down. We'll see what's next. A lot of the time we'll see an early play into Desert Palace. We do not need the book to get into Desert. We simply need to perform some clip to the north of Desert, maybe to the east of it. Furaime sees half magic. And he's turning to the right. This should be good for an upward teleport and an escape from that stump. So not only did Furaime have to do an upward teleport to reach the half magic, he also had to position himself in a certain way so that he didn't get stuck onto the stump. And it's a shortcut. Runners could still use the race game if they wanted to. And they would have 15 seconds to run through the bushes. All right, so we know that Desert Palace is a green pendant, and that makes it sort of it gives it a little bit of tension here. We won't be able to full clear it, not only because we can't beat the boss, but also because we may not get both items that are in here. So depending on what happens, there still may be 2 item possibilities. Flute is in Mini Moldorm Cave. In this logic, the flute is not a progression. It is not a progression item, and it doesn't really matter where flute is. In the no glitches logic, flute may be required for Death Mountain access or Mire Overworld access, but out of bound glitches can get our runners there. And it may be expected, of course. Well, it didn't look like there's too much in Desert. Furaime taking the right exit will check Agena. And without any well, prdwong has arrows. Oh, actually both runners have arrows. But bombs got prdwong through the Popo's kill room. Question in chat, what are the best strategies to start, and are the players doing things differently? And we will see a lot of divergence in routing. All of the overworld is available to them, so there's no set way to go about it. So they probably just want to clear overworld until they have the items to full clear dungeons. Nice, look at these ice rod strats from Furaime, getting through mini Moldorms quickly. And both runners got that half magic, so they were able to fill up their magic meter. Okay. So Furaime is saving and quitting. With the flute in hand, he'll be able to activate it and navigate the overworld more quickly. I bet we'll see more Overworld and Mini Moldorm from prdwong. Furaime does need to check Cave 45, and normally we would see this check made from the Dark World in No Glitches logic, and a mirror would be required to access this area, but our runners just use a downward teleport. Alright, so prdwong has made his way to escape, and he finds the lamp at Link's uncle. And escape this area is something that some runners may leave behind for a while. So having that early fire source is a good advantage for prdwong right now. We will see. We don't know when Furaime will go there. I don't suspect it'll be too late. But prdwong continues through escape now, so he'll find a couple of items here, maybe more, maybe all 6. Kind of depends on the key situation. And Furaime is in a dark room. I didn't see him go into the overworld and go into Old Man's cave, the Lost Old Man and the Dark Death Mountain cave. But he's able to save the old man, navigate using an item, a magic boomerang in this case, and bring the old man to safety. He did not use what we would call a DMA, a glitch, to get there. He just used the flute. Furaime has 1.5 hearts and needs to be careful, or as careful as he can be, ascending the mountain. prdwong will just use 1 silver arrow to kill the ball and chains guard, and just finds 20 rupees in Zelda's cell. So he's taking a death warp, and we may see the sewer Dark Cross item. Furaime is in Death Mountain and will get a hint and an item. The book is in Spectacle Rock. A piece of heart is in Desert Palace, we find out. Okay. Alright, so Furaime is doing a dash buffer into the wall, and it pushes Link all the way off of the ledge, and it screen wraps Link. And it puts Link at the top of the screen, right in front of Hera. So it's a nice shortcut, and it may be expected to get into Hera. Alright, so Furaime does not have a fire source like prdwong does, and he has no incentive to go up to the Tower of Hera anyway right now, so Furaime's done all he can do. He does have a book, so he can check tablets. Just 10 arrows on either tablet. And then Furaime finds a power glove on the top of Spectacle Rock. He just needs to do a downward teleport. He's using a different bump. He's sort of above the 4th bump. A little different than I'm familiar with. but it'll work, right? Well, the downward teleport isn't working, but now he's on the third bump, and a downward... That'll work, right? Yeah, so that's what he wanted. A downward teleport, ironically, puts him upward, sort of, onto the top of the rock. prdwong's doing that DMA that I mentioned earlier, Death Mountain Ascent. He's using an upward teleport to screen wrap Link and allow him to transition in an improper way, and it gets him onto the Death Mountain screen. So he corrects his camera and can enter the cave then. Furaime finds a sword in the dam. It's funny, I missed Furaime's navigation to Mini Moldorm Cave the first time through. So I missed that this was skipped, but here it is. A sword. So our runners at this moment have 2 different items required to get through Tower of Hera. And Desert Palace. And prdwong has a bow and a lamp. He could go to Eastern Palace. So the light world will not be hard for our runners to clear. Completely, basically. But there are 2 pendants in the light world. So how much of it will be cleared before we see the dark world? Not quite sure. It looks like Furaime set up a water walk glitch in Ice Rock Cave, and now he is dashing over the water. He armed water walk, and this is simply a minor glitch. It's one of the ways that Link may be expected to get into flipper locked locations. And he's checking the waterfall. Fairy. And the fairy herself, who offers what? A bee. And what's next for Furaime? He's got 520 rupees. I think it's time to check Zora. And we have 50 rupees. On the ledge. prdwong, by the way, he's used his DMA to go straight to Tower of Hera. Oh no! prdwong does not make it through Tile Room to the big key. That is a major time loss. And he's going to stop for now. And that's fine. He will probably come back later. And he would have to come back later anyway, because he doesn't have a blunt weapon to defeat Moldorm. But it's still a time loss to have to deal with the Tile Room 2 times. So, with gloves in hand, Furaime checks the back of Escape, but doesn't find anything there. Is the front of Escape next? Furaime will find a lamp at Uncle. We see a bomb jump from prdwong to get him quickly out of Spectacle Rock, and he's going to East Death Mountain, which we haven't seen yet. And he's doing a downward teleport to get to this Turtle Rock Ascent wall, and he does some wiggling to force Link over to the right, in this case Navi. This is a good opportunity to get a fairy. Good job, Navi. And he finds the mirror on the floating island. This is a simple upwards teleport to get out of that area, and then sort of a trickier but very doable clip to jump out of the outer boundary of the island, which for some reason acts like water. So Link just has to kind of clip in a certain way. It's getting easier all the time. I believe it was Glenn who found a way to kind of tap down and then dash to the side, and easily jump inbounds. Furaime is using his boomerang and its sword, making it through escape handily. The fairy was kind of a funny thing. We saw prdwong do a death warp. So Furaime is probably not setting up for a death warp with that full heart situation. He's doing the thing. He's got his ice rod. Oh, okay, he is setting up a death warp. And he's doing the double. He froze the green guard and used it as a weapon to kill the ball and chains guard. One of the best strats. Question, do you get stuck there if you have flippers? The flippers don't make a difference for the sort of easier way of getting back inbounds in Death Mountain. There are a couple different strats. Alright, so Furaime wants the flippers. He's pretty sure he wants those flippers. So he's doing Aghanim's Tower right now. And this is a good play. It'll get Furaime access to the flippers for later. And he'll see what's on the pyramid. And right now, we don't have a way of exploring the Dark World. Logically, we do not have the Moon Pearl. All we need to explore the Dark World is a Moon Pearl. Our runners can access the Dark World portal on Death Mountain and then just clip to the main Dark World area. But they need Link state. They want to be Link. And where's that Moon Pearl? It could be in Eastern Palace. But it's also slightly... it's fairly likely it could be on Pyramid. So a funny thing about the cape, it may not be required to get through Bumper Cave because they can clip to the top of Bumper Cave, but logically speaking, this cape is required to get, well, it might not be required. But for now, it's required to get to the flippers. And on prdwong's side, he's cleaning up the light world. So what will happen here? First of all, we have to guess how many blue balls Aghanim will shoot. I'll go with -1. We'll see how badly I'm mistaken. And then we'll see what's on the pyramid. If it's not the pearls, then we probably will see Eastern Palace. We may see... Well, no, we could see Hera next. I'm not sure what the first dungeon will be. Probably Hera. I already lost count. So, it looks like 2 so far. Alright, prdwong is using his sword to get a super speed state. It allows him to easily clip off of the edge, and this is something anyone can do if they get into super speed state, which is a minor glitch. Being in super speed is a minor glitch, but alright, let's look at the map here. Furaime sees that the 1 in 7 chance that he was sort of avoiding, or the sort of thing where he would not need flippers, well, he's got the pendant. He's got a pendant swamp palace. So flippers are now possibly required, not necessarily required. It will be interesting to see what happens here. So both runners are now in Tower of Hera and will be earning their first crystal at Moldorm. And prdwong is the first to ascend to the tower. But Furaime is right behind him. Alright. prdwong finds a vanilla moon pearl. Right there in the big chest of Pearl Rock. So we see that that lamp was required to get the moon pearl. Bumper skip doesn't work out, but here comes another try. And one thing we know about prdwong is he uses a random sprite. So the fact that he's able to use the visual cues of a random sort of design is pretty bold, pretty skilled. So I admire that. A unique item is in plain sight. Oh, the flippers. That may be one thing that it's referring to. If I'm not mistaken. I may be mistaken. And prdwong earns his first crystal. And although I mentioned that prdwong uses a random sprite, Furaime also uses a random sprite. I don't know if this particular case is random. I'm not familiar with the sprite that he's using. It may be. So this is a great matchup, if just for sprite usage, I think. But I would be a bit surprised. In Overworld Glitch Randomizer, it's really helpful to have a consistent looking sprite to help with navigating the overworld. Oh, I didn't mention, we should have been watching prdwong's screen for that super drop from Death Mountain. So prdwong jumped off of a screen-wrapped Dark Death Mountain, fell 4 times around the screen, and then did it again, and then screen transition so that he's in the Dark World swamp. And this is a good opportunity to go straight to Hype Cave. Alright, Furaime... Okay, so he's got an upward teleport. That's what he was looking to do, to get over here. He doesn't have the hammer. He just wants to teleport up into the clouds and get over here. So he sees, first of all, that mirror. And he just needs to... Well, he needs to move Link down a bit and then dash to the right. But it doesn't look like he's far down enough to do that dash. But there he goes, he's got it. Alright, doesn't look like the Dark World has much for us yet. But what are we looking for? We're definitely looking for a hammer, sword upgrades, fire rod. We're looking for Cane of Samaria. And we're going to be looking for a Meyer medallion. So let's see. What's next for prdwong? Time to check that Bombos tablet. Meanwhile, Furaime is cleaning up East Death Mountain. And prdwong is just getting in position for a downward teleport. Common setup there. And he's doing a super speed to get an easy clip over the wall, a thin wall. And doing 2 clips over these walls will get him to Checkerboard Cave. Oh, yeah, right, that's where his portal is. Alright, so that was some desert cleanup while prdwong is in Mire. Some good overworld clearing here. Will be interesting to see if he goes for Landmolas. For an item there and then the green pendant. Not sure if that's worth at this moment, but it is a dungeon he can do. And he can't really full clear any other dungeon, like a crystal dungeon. Yeah, he's going for it. Alright. And then Furaime is doing what? What's over here? He is, first of all, avoiding the Agatara portal by going through the secret passage. And, okay, see, this is something I missed. He performed a mirror portal screen wrap glitch while he was on Death Mountain. And he placed his portal so that he was able to get the Pyramid Fairies items. And that's in logic. It's a way to get to the Pyramid Fairy. Alright. And, but there's nothing at Pyramid Fairy. So that's too bad. It took a little bit of extra time because he had to avoid the Aghanim portal, but that's fine. He got through. And Furaime, without the hammer, he had to swim to get... he had to clip out of bounds and swim to get to Hype Cave, and it took a bit of effort, but he got there. And he'll get his cat hearts and hearts in Hype Cave. Alright, now, prdwong found a piece of heart at Landmo. So nothing quite yet. He will have to turn in the green pendant. Well, doesn't have to turn it in. There might be a hint for what it is. But he will want to check that soon. And then we'll know if that's worth. And prdwong's the first to get to the village of Outcasts and check these items. We almost always see a total overworld clear in this mode. Sometimes it can be avoided, but it's rare. And we may see prdwong go into Thieves Town. He doesn't have the hammer, but there's no other crystal dungeon that he wants to go into right now, and as far as I can tell. So here he goes. So Furaime is kind of following prdwong's footsteps here, which is kind of interesting. We saw a kind of hiccup from prdwong where he had to do the tile room of Hera twice, but he is seemingly ahead right now. However, Furaime did complete Aghanim's tower, so he has that dungeon already done, and we don't know if it's worth yet, because we don't know if there will be progression in Swamp Palace. Would be interesting if Hammer is there. Because our runners have the flippers and they have the mirror. I mean, I'm sorry, Furaime has the flippers because he did Aghanim's tower, and he has the mirror. So when will we see Swamp Palace is the question. And I suspect it'll be post-Hammer, but who knows? Ideally, Hammer and Hookshot will show up, and then Furaime will go to Swamp Palace to get everything else. Or I'm not quite sure what Furaime wants, but yeah. Oh, he's got Quake, so he's going to open Misery Mire. Interesting. Very interesting. So we'll see 1 to 2 items here, and at least the big key. And meanwhile, prdwong is full clearing. I'm sorry, prdwong is clearing Thieves Town. I have not been paying attention to maps and compasses, unfortunately, but yeah, so far So far, I haven't seen anything special in this dungeon. It's a very interesting seed so far. Without the hammer, without fire rod, without the cane, there's just not a lot of clearing that can occur. We could see a clear of Eastern Palace, but not too much else. Alright, a compass for Furaime. So he'll be heading to the Vanilla Big Key location. He can at least get a hint there. He's got to watch out for this slug, which is really blocking his way through the conveyor belts. Let's see how he deals with the block puzzle. Oh, prdwong is activating flute. Nice time to do this. Good call. And thank you to our viewers in chat informing us that the big chest of Thieves Town just had a key. So, hammer does not block anything in that chest. The hookshot is in Super Bunny Cave, according to a hint. Good to know. So we'll see that soon. That gives some incentive to go. Okay, look at this. prdwong did a screen wrap in Village of Outcasts. This is very interesting. He's got the flute, he's got the mirror, he's going to check the smiths. This is something that used to be in logic in this mode, but because you have to snake Link around, and you have like soft lock potential, hard lock potential. You have to go around, cut the grass in a certain way. What prdwong's done here is he's put the mirror portal in a very particular place with a screen wrap, and now he needs to position himself just in a way to get Link to rescue the smith. And sure, that's something that we know how to do. Good on prdwong to have that memorized and done first try. Really nice there. And that is not in logic anymore, like I mentioned. Yeah, so nits are still the logical requirement to get the smith item. And this is just a good thing for prdwong to do while he's in the area. Unfortunately, it means that he has to do more upward teleports to get around the heavy rocks here. And fortunately, the smith can do teleports as well. Yeah, when I was going over items before, I didn't mention hookshot, but it is required for our runners, I'm pretty sure, to get through Ganon's tower. And it may be required for Back of Swamp. We don't know yet. It is the great mystery of this seed so far. What is in Swamp Palace? Oh, prdwong performed a mirror wrap. He used the mirror at a screen transition. He went back to wrap Link way far to the east, and now he is past those heavy rocks. I'm not sure what he's doing here. Oh, yes, I am. He's getting the purple chest. So all he needs to do is to correct his camera, and then he'll be able to find the purple chest But unfortunately, he could not find the cave to correct his camera, and so he could not find the purple chest at that moment. Right? Right. Yeah, he didn't get it. That's too bad. That was pretty clever. Okay, so prdwong did another screen wrap. Now he's doing that mirror portal setup that I mentioned that Furaime did. So he used the portal in a generally specific in a certain spot, and he's putting that mirror portal directly in front of the pyramid fairy. So he's using his flute. He does not have to avoid any sort of Aghanim portal since he hasn't created one yet. So he can go straight to the portal. He's also using a bush, kind of like, I think Furaime used a bush as well to kind of position himself. It's not really required to do that. Just one way to get into the portal in a certain way. But he's not going to find too much up here. So what is next for prdwong? Is he going to the east, I wonder? Is he going to Catfish? I think it'll be a Catfish to pod play. We'll find out. One thing, I wasn't watching prdwong near Kakariko, so I'm not sure he has the knowledge of the flippers, really. I'm guessing he checked it, but I can't remember. He checked. Thank you. So it'll be interesting to know how much of a question that is for prdwong right now. I'm going to guess that we'll probably see things like Ganon's Tower before we see any interest in the flippers. But without the hammer, our runners won't get too far. Let's see what's in pod in Eastern, though. That's a good 8 or 9 items we can find out about. And then prdwong has to get around Kiki to mirror to get to Hazarla. We'll see what this adds up to. 300 rupees. Okay. Not progression. But prdwong shouldn't be too mad about that. I mean, Furaime did it. I would do it. It didn't have anything, but it's not a bad play. So let's see here. Will prdwong do a pretty standard pod clear first, maybe? Probably. One thing we did not see was Skull Woods. So after Thieves Town here, where will Furaime go? Alright, he's got his mirror out, so maybe we'll see King's Tomb. And from there, I'm not sure. Pretty long checking vanilla big key location pretty quickly. Key for a key. And there's a big key. Alright, Furaime is returning to the west. So what's next? Probably Bumper Cave. Okay, that's what we want. We want a magic hammer that is found at the top of Bumper Cave. As I mentioned, we do not need the magic cape to get that. They have it, but that's not really relevant. And now Furaime is able to get the flippers. So this is very interesting at this point. The mystery may be coming to a conclusion. Another chapter, we may see Swamp Palace in its entirety soon. We know where the hookshot is. It's at Super Bunny. The Super Bunny Cave. Meanwhile, prdwong is doing a hammer jump. Very good. Good job, Navi. So, yes, we're seeing Skullwoods. So, Furaime's full clearing, doing a good job being thorough. But he doesn't have luck on the left side drop in Skullwoods, so he'll be making his way through the pinball room. And Furaime's got a hammer. I'm not quite sure what will be the next move for him. Probably Dark Death Mountain. And from there, it will be kind of interesting. It may just be a pod Eastern play. I don't think he'll be rushing Swamp. So, I think that's just not the right time right now. So we'll see. Oh, excuse me. And Furaime does a good job with the mummy statue room. He had to pull the statue a little bit, but that's fine. He was able to do it well. And meanwhile, we're seeing Eastern from prdwong. This is not something that's sort of a desirable thing. It's a pendant dungeon, but for prdwong, he'll be fine with it. I mean, this is what he wants to do right now. He's got the bow, and it's a dungeon he can full clear. He doesn't know where the hammer is, though, so Furaime, when he gets to that area, he will have the hammer. However, prdwong finds the cane. And he's able to cancel out Mimic Cave. Meanwhile, Furaime finds the mushroom on pedestal. So how about that? We can still plus RNG even after checking pedestal. So this is good for prdwong. Furaime will have less incentive to go into Eastern because he has the hammer. But I wouldn't be surprised if he goes in there. The only issue is if he does avoid it, then he may go to Swamp before Eastern, looking for a cane. I don't know. So Furaime's on Death Mountain. He'll probably be getting his hookshot next. And yeah, the main thing that remains now is Fire Rod. So there's still a lot of the world left, and we're mainly looking for a Fire Rod. So Swamp Palace is looking less and less likely, but we don't know. We haven't even seen Ganon's Tower yet, which will have a lot of items on the left side, and possibly in the tower. So what's next for Furaime? Is it Catfish? Looks like it. And does this mean that he'll be doing Palace of Darkness and Eastern Palace? We'll probably at least see Eastern. Armos has red mail. And prdwong had an easy fight with silver arrows. And Furaime does a downward teleport, a good shortcut from Catfish. A common route we see in Overworld Glitched. So, let's see. I'm not sure if Helmasaur has an item. We will see it, and it is a crystal. My guess is Furaime will go to Eastern Palace. But I could be wrong. And more overworld checks for prdwong. So what is next? He's got the cane. It may be Meyer. I'm not sure. And it looks like prdwong is going to do another super drop. So we're going to watch him jump 4 times in one fall, then do another fall with 4 screen wraps, that is, and you transition to the left. And now he's on... he doesn't really want to be here, he's just slashing. He wants to find the Swamp Palace door now, and then correct his camera. He was trying to do this without having to use Swamp Palace. Oh wow, that's a good hint for prdwong. He'll save time over Furaime. So he'll avoid left side Meyer. It looks like prdwong wants to get into Meyer. So he's going to use the pretty standard Meyer clip. I think he's setting up. Yes, he is. So he's doing a downward teleport to get to get through here. Furaime is going to Helmosaur first. He's looking for Fire Rod. He probably wants to get out of here. Get into go mode. Sort of. The problem is we're not in go mode till we have a Master Sword. So they'll be in sort of a search for a sword. But it's not as stressful, I think, because there are 3 opportunities still to find a sword. But there's only 1 Fire Rod. So that's really what Furaime wants at this point. Prdwong needs hammer. He's missing that hammer on Bumper Ledge. Okay. A fast fight from Furaime. He's got those silver arrows and dispatches Helmosaur King. What is here? A blue cane, the cane of Burna. Yeah. So, I don't think we've seen Spike Cave yet. We do have Cape, Hammer, Glove, Moon Pearl. That's one possibility, of course. So Furaime did not find the Fire Rod. He'll be searching the rest of Pod. He won't find anything here. So after this, we may see Eastern from Furaime. After Prdwong finishes Misery Mire, I'm not sure what's next. I bet he'll do the Skullwoods area and get the hammer. But who knows? With Pearl, we have access to Ganon's Tower. We have access to Turtle Rock. In Overworld Glitch, there's a higher possibility that Fire Rod is in Laser Bridge. In other words, the deep in Turtle Rock. I think it's a higher chance. I don't really have the stats on that. But I believe there are more possibilities, more chances for that to occur. Alright, mirroring. And we're into Eastern. Okay. So Furaime will find the cane here. And then what will be next? I don't know if he'll go into Swamp. Like I said, there's no rush. There are 27 chests in Ganon's Tower where Fire Rod could be and a sword. He needs to do Ganon's Tower anyway. I think this was sort of a red herring, the Swamp Palace situation. So I don't see him going for it personally. Okay, nice hook shot from Furaime. And he's able to kill one Stalfos? I haven't really seen that before. So that's the great thing about watching these runners. We always learn something new. And if you're enjoying what you're seeing, definitely follow these runners. prdwong and Furaime. I highly recommend. So let's see what's next for prdwong. He's in the Dark World, Dark Death Mountain, but he's going east. So he knows about. Wait, no, he doesn't know. I don't think he knows about hookshot, but he does know he can access Super Bunny chests, and he's got his mirror out. He may be kind of making up his mind as he goes. He'll find his hookshot here. prdwong was able to have a faster mire clear because he knew about the hookshot and, the map and compass. So I don't think he got the Super Bunny cave hint. That's okay. This is a commonly seen cave. It might even have pearl in some seeds. And how about that? That's convenient. What's in Hookshot Cave? We know that nothing is here except for the Ether Medallion. And we always see a great Silver Arrow Armos fight. He missed one, but that's okay. That setup is really cool. It might be the Super Sketch method, I'm not totally sure. Alright, prdwong's going into Turtle Rock. I like this. From prdwong's perspective, this is a fine thing to do. He just needs to bomb himself here to get out of the laser bridge wall. Oh yes, and Furaime next can check Sazerac for those 300 rupees. Alright, so Furaime does, it's hard to tell. I don't think he's discouraged though. What is next? What is next? Death Mountain. So we see prdwong going into Turtle Rock. I doubt that Furaime will go to Turtle Rock. But where is Furaime going? He's going against Tower. This is the GT clip right here. He's lining himself up against that wall and using hook speed to get Link in a position to do a hop, actually, not really a sort of a lateral clip, but sort of a hop where he holds diagonally in the direction of the wall. It's kind of confusing. And hey, look at that. Furaime is now searching for only a sword because Fire Rod is free in Ganon's tower. And that sort of pause led him to kind of decide where to go next. He has right side Ganon's tower open. That's very interesting. He wasn't planning on searching right side GT because he didn't have Fire Rod before. But now he still needs a sword and he still needs the big key. And this means that Swamp, unless Swamp Palace has 3 progressive swords, Swamp Palace is no longer on the table. Wow, prdwong finds the Master Sword first. So it's in Turtle Rock. That's pretty good. So this race is kind of heating up, although Furaime has a good advantage, needing only one sword. And it'll be interesting if there's no other sword in Ganon's tower. It'll be interesting. We still have a race, I think. So mitts are blocked by the hookshot. Mitts are found in Ganon's tower, excuse me. And that doesn't really mean anything. It means that Ice Palace is in logic, basically. I believe Bombos was here, so our melting weapons are in Ganon's tower, and so are mitts. And there's a unique item held by someone friendly. I wasn't tracking what that could be. But anyway, let's see here. Furaime wants a sword. He still has 3 crystal dungeons to clear. I am not sure. I'm guessing he'll just avoid slow checks. Maybe not full clear Ice Palace. Nope. Nope, he won't. Because there's a sword in Ganon's tower, as expected. And that's go mode. Furaime needs to climb the tower, beat Aghanim 2, beat 3 more crystal bosses, and then he'll be on his way. prdwong needs the hammer, he needs the cane. And he should be able to find them without too much trouble. But he's behind at this point, unfortunately. Furaime has an advantage, it's his race to lose. So with 4.5 hearts, we're watching Furaime ascend Ganon's tower. Shouldn't be too bad. He's got red mail. He's got bottles. He's got a bee. Great clear of G2 from Furaime. He knows exactly where to use that fire rod shot right at the beginning. With half magic, he's not concerned. He gets a free kill there. G4, no problem. No problem at all. And Gauntlet. On to the Molas. Meanwhile, prdwong heading to escape. What is here? Sewer's chest? The front of escape? Aghanim, right. Alright, this is the Swamp Palace play from prdwong. He's got to go from Aghanim's tower, get those flippers on Lumberjack, and then he'll be checking Swamp Palace at 1 hour and 15 minutes. I don't blame him. I'd be in the same boat thinking what he's thinking now if I were in his shoes. We know it's not the answer. So that's just how this seed will go. Uh-oh. Torch malfunction. on Furaime's end. Let's start over. Let's use lamp. Lamp is no problem. Now what? Let's get a magic. Let's get a heart. Let's be careful. Okay. We're no longer at 2 hearts for Furaime, so all is fine. And it's hammer time for Moldorm. I don't blame Furaime. Spins can be hard to pull off. And he's doing the menu tech, gets to hookshot before the explosions occur so he can actually make the switch over and hookshot before the explosions end. And Furaime now has a heart advantage as well. Has a progression advantage. 14 hearts to 13. Question in chat, how's Furaime already in Ganon's tower without 7 crystals? This is the Overworld glitch tournament, and Furaime used an out-of-bounds glitch to do a screen wrap on the Dark Death Mountain screen that puts him directly in front of Ganon's tower and can enter without breaking the barrier. And right now we are watching the bronze match. Whoever wins this matchup will take 3rd place in the Overworld glitch tourney, which started in April and has been very fun for racing and watching glitched randomizers. And Aghanim 2 is defeated. So now we have 3 dungeons left for Furaime. What order will he choose? He's got Skullwoods, he's got Misery Mire, he's got Turtle Rock. He's going to... Skullwoods. Interesting call. If I were Furaime, I might do the Turtle Rock to Skullwoods route. It is a bit dangerous because it involves a map wrap. But Furaime does not risk a thing here. He's just going for it. He's just going for Skullwoods first instead of after Skullwoods. I mean, Skullwoods first instead of after Turtle Rock. Alright. And prdwong is after those flippers. So we'll be seeing Swamp Palace probably momentarily. Now wait a minute. One thing we know about prdwong's inventory is that there's no hammer in it. So prdwong is first of all kind of stuck on the screen. He's going to need to do a bomb clip to get out of this area. And meanwhile, Furaime takes down Mothula with some hammer hits. And this is very tricky for prdwong because if you're... Oh no! He had it. Alright, so prdwong did a bomb clip. He was able to clip into the wall. But step 2 failed. And that can happen if you're going quickly and want to do a quick hop. prdwong does finally get it. No problem. And now he can check the first chest in Swamp Palace. So, we will be seeing prdwong struggle with progression here. After this dip, I'm not quite sure where he'll go, but I expect him to find Hammer pretty quickly. After that, it's going to be kind of a struggle, though. It'll be pretty annoying if he finds... I mean, it's obviously kind of annoying regardless, because he's 2 items away from go mode, but Hammer opens up more, so Fire Rod will be anywhere for him. Alright. Okay. So that was not the answer for prdwong. He's got to just figure something else out. Meanwhile, Furaime is making his way through Misery Mire, and he's saving Turtle Rock for the last crystal. No, I'm sorry. He's got 2 more crystals after this, so... Ice Palace will be next. Well, I don't know. Not sure which dungeon's next after this. Okay, so it looks like prdwong's probably going to Ganon's Tower here. Nice spooky action glitch from Furaime. Using that 2018 tech to quickly get through the basement of Misery Mire. This is good for prdwong because he'll find Fire Rod before Hammer. And he won't waste time with left side GT really at this point. Yeah. Hammer will be kind of annoying because he has a lot of Ganon's Tower to clear. Alright, I should have been paying more attention to that Vitreous fight. I might even clip it, actually. Furaime always shows us a good low percent Vitreous fight, although he probably just used silver arrows, so not particularly challenging. Nothing like the new low percent fight. Alright, so it looks like Turtle Rock is next for Furaime. And then Ice Palace will be last. Makes a lot of sense. Because I think, because perhaps Tempered can be found. Maybe there's a greater chance to find Tempered before Cold Stare. It won't really matter too much. He's got half magic and Fire Rod. But... still a pretty good idea. In fact, he might even find Tempered Sword because we do know where it is. It's in Turtle Rock. At the Vanilla Big Key chest. And since Furaime needs the big key, I do not see him missing that chest. So, yeah. I don't know why I would have assumed that Ice Palace would be next, because he'll get Tempered Sword, and then Ice Palace will be even faster. Okay, with prdwong's last silver arrow, he takes out Ice Armos. And this is something we did not see from Furaime, because he was already in go mode with that sword and big key on left side. So that was, again, something that Furaime didn't have to do. Furaime did pick up his Tempered Sword, and the next couple of bosses should be no problem, and then Ganon. So prdwong, he does have Fire Rod, but why is he not going to Skull Woods? Like I mentioned before, I would be in the same mindset, maybe going to I would go to Swamp 2, basically, if I were him. Not knowing where the hammer is. At this point, Turtle Rock does make sense. He's got the Fire Rod to complete it now. And then I kind of think we'll see a map wrap from him. That would be pretty cool to see. What? Okay. All right. Both runners at Trinex. And no problem. No problem for Furaime with Tempered. No problem for prdwong with Master Sword. prdwong just needs to make it through phase 2. Initial spin makes things a bit more chaotic, missing that. But no problem. Let's slash. Get through it. And I wonder if prdwong will check the front of Turtle Rock. Unless it's like 2 keys, and I'm not quite sure. Alright, Furaime is on his way to his last dungeon to complete, which will be Ice Palace. And Furaime's Fire Rod was broken. Unfortunately, the bird broke it. I don't know why it would do that. But basically, the altitude glitch, the altitude of the bird affects the ancilla of the Fire Rod. It was discovered. And that's kind of the basis behind the spooky action glitch. And it can be corrected so that your Fire Rod works again. But because of that, Furaime kind of missed the initial shot on the Freezor. Alright, so Furaime getting through here. He's got the pegs in the right place. He's not checking a hint. He's just go moding, getting through. And Turtle Rock is clear for prdwong. So, where to next? He's going to pod, but this is not the way. Okay? But what is the way? Where do we want to go? To the shrine. No. Not there. Meanwhile, Furaime getting past Lonely Firebar. He's got no reason to check anything. Okay, purple chest? Is it purple chest time? I think so. So prdwong, he's got to check these really bad chests at this point to see if his gambles will amount to anything. So the purple chest is a good option as far as bad checks go. Checks that we don't want to make, undesirable, slow checks. He's got the powder as well. I don't think he checked that, so now is the time. Alright, and Furaime earns his 7th crystal. Aghanim 2 is already done. It's just time to deal with Ganon. Alright, and since Aghanim is defeated, a save warp to the pyramid is easy, and we can fight Ganon. Nice one cycle on the first phase. Furaime is looking to get a 1 cycle on phase 2. And onward to phase 3. Nice single and triple arrow shots fired for Furaime. Get your GGs in. Furaime takes the win here. And he just needs to walk through the bridge and win the Triforce. And Furaime finishes in first place with a time of 1 hour, 34 minutes, and 41 seconds. And Furaime sees the hammer, and he knows that he's in go mode. However, prdwong finishes with a bombos and forfeits from the race. And let's see if we'll have an interview. And if you have any questions for Furaime, he's here in chat. And Furaime reminds us of the mushroom spot. Not mushroom spot, but pedestal spot. where we saw the mushroom. We're joined by prdwong. GG. You got go mode right there at the end. Hammer go mode. But sorry for the loss. How do you feel, prdwong?
I felt like I was falling asleep and made a bunch of bad routing decisions. But I mean, starting the second match, I was like, well, I think the only way I have a chance is to make some like low percentage plays and hope they pan out. And I was looking to try to get the flippers when it made sense, and it just wasn't very appealing without hammer and hookshot. But eventually, I was like, well, I just gotta go for it. Maybe, who knows? Maybe hammer's right there in the first chest. And when I didn't see it, I knew I was, oh, well, okay, this one's probably done.
Right. Your plays made sense to me as the sort of, let's say, 75-minute mark approach, and I would be right there with you on route to Swamp Palace. Yeah.
But definitely a bunch of stupid mistakes, like at the very end, heading to pod without the hammer, and then mirroring out of Eastern, all sorts of these kinds of things that are really sloppy.
Right. That was late in the game. So, yeah, from Furaime we saw an early Aga Tower play. Not a difficult tower with silver arrows. We did not see a Swamp Palace play because Furaime got hammer fairly early after Thieves Town, and then the rest of the seed sort of fell into place because Fire Rod was available against tower. A sword for Furaime's go mode was in Randomizer room, and that also gave him tempered for Trinex. So you were both fighting Trinex at the same time. He had tempered, you had Master Sword. But yeah, you both did Desert Palace. And I would have done it too. Yeah. So that's sort of an overview.
It was my intention to go up to Bumper Ledge and then do Graveyard Ledge and King's Tomb together after Thieves Town.
Yeah.
But I decided to do Blacksmith first. Again, one of those low percentage plays.
Right.
And then I got sidetracked into. I thought the purple chest is there after you do the mirror route, so I thought I would do that one as well. But apparently, it doesn't work.
I don't know. I would have corrected the camera in the Bat Cave.
Yeah.
So that would have been the way to go there. But yeah, I really like that play, especially showing us the mirror screen wrap portal for the Smith. That was well done.
I figured I'd have a little fun.
Yeah, that was great. So that's it for the bronze match. So GG's. Will you be playing more Overworld Glitch, more Randomizer? What's next for you, prdwong?
I don't know. I think I'm gonna take it easy for a little bit. It's been a lot of tournaments.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, I'll still play Rando. I just haven't decided exactly what I want to focus on next.
True. And any more thoughts on the two seeds? I was not present for the first seed. did you did you interview for that already? Sorry, I missed it.
No,
I heard it
didn't.
was Pendant Ice Palace. Was that the problem here?
Yeah. This Canis Amaro and Hookshot was in Ice Palace. I went into Ice Palace and I was like, I know this is not such a great play, but there's not really that much else appealing. And then as I was entering, I was like, wait, the two items I'm looking for are Kane and Hookshot. So Ice Palace might require those items. So it was really interesting to see them show up.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think you can tell. But I guess I was happy with my play on the first game. But I think you could just tell amongst the people in the semifinals, like my play is the sloppiest by far. So it's surprising enough that I made it this far, I think, for me. And GG's to the rest of you.
Thank you. And it was we saw some great stuff regardless. Yeah, and your routing this didn't work out, but you gave us an explainer already. And it, logically made sense. So yeah, I think we'll start wrapping up here. Thank you, prdwong. Follow these remners. Let me put it into commands. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here, and there's those links. And next on SpeedGaming, we have on SpeedGaming 3 at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, Super Mario Brothers Warpless Tournament. Ocarina of Time Randomizer on SpeedGaming, also at 7 p.m. And for a link to the past randomizer, our daily race is inverted. That'll be on SpeedGaming 3. So, I better close it out here. Thanks for watching, everyone, and stay tuned this weekend for more Overworld Glitched. And see you next time.